I'm still here and it's 5:39. So I'm still doing the research on the energy vampires because I'm just so sick of this energy. Like, I can't stand an energy vampire. So this one is, I got it from CNN, and it's called How to Spot and Deal with an Energy Vampire. Energy vampires are friends, family members, co workers who literally zap your emotional energy, and here's how to avoid getting sucked dry. This is an article from CNN. It was written August 2nd, 2018. It was updated the same day, August 2nd, 2018. Energy vampires most often target those who are sensitive and compassionate and are likely to lend a listening ear. If you listen to this shit, they're always gonna go to you because you're always gonna listen. Don't listen to this shit. It's not your energy. Like, ugh, I'm busy. I don't got time. This was written by Sarah Digiulio. Digiulio. Oh, like, okay. What is it? They leave you feeling drained after every conversation. They want your nonstop attention, and the conversation is always about them. They may be charming, charismatic, and the life of the party personality. They also may cheat, they may lie, and it's probably someone else's fault when something goes wrong. There are some, but certainly not all, of the traits you might run across in someone who is an energy vampire. An energy vampire is somebody who literally zaps the energy, your energy dry. Judith Orloff, MD, a psychiatrist on the University of California, Los Angeles Psychiatric Clinical Faculty, tells NBC News. So this article is from NBC News. And she could tell us better. This doctor, this psychiatrist, is gonna break it down. There are different types and they all fall on the spectrum. She adds, they are the narcissistic drama queen friend who's always dealing with one crisis or another. They're the manipulative coworker who doesn't care who she steps on to get ahead. And there's a downright psychopathic criminal. The drama queen is like, they always got some drama going on in their life. It's like, ugh. But what energy vampires all have in common is they feed on or manipulate people who give them air, space, and open ears. Like, you listen to them and you let them act up and be dramatic and do all that, and you always there listening. Like, oh my god. Unsurprisingly, those most often targeted are the sensitive, compassionate, they always see the good in people type of people, Orloff says. She's also the author of a book on the topic, The Empath's Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People. So if you're an empath, you need to look at that book. Find that book and read it because it's going to teach you how to protect your energy. So, energy vampire isn't a clinical term or diagnosis currently, but Christine Northrup, MD, author of the recent book Dodging Energy Vampires, explains that energy vampires' characteristics do tend to map to cluster B, personality disorders. The ones where people tend to have dramatic, overly emotional, or erratic thinking or behavior, which are fairly common, she says. The person that wrote that, made that statement, she's been studying. Northup spent 25 years practicing obstetrics and gynecology and now focuses on being an advocate for women's health and wellness. Cluster B includes people with antisocial, borderline, and narcissistic personality disorders. And each of those is a clinical diagnosis with measurable specific traits spelled out in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Wow. The diagnostic playbook psychologists use to identify mental health disorder is called Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the 5th edition. That's what the doctors use to classify your mental disorder. So it's like energy vampires is like a mental, they are not mentally stable. It's a mental condition. There's no chemical imbalance in the brain or anything like that, she adds, but individuals either lack or have somewhat misguided conscience or moral compass, she says. Their morals and values are all out of whack. According to Northrop, energy vampires also include the extreme end of the spectrum of these personality disorders, namely psychopaths and sociopaths. They are often talented but manipulative too. They feed on your good, loving, and compassionate energy, and they have no qualms. Like, they don't care. If they take all your energy, they do not care. She says they make you feel guilty as if you're never giving enough, like you're not doing enough. Like, it's draining. Who is and who's not the energy vampire? While psychopaths, according to Northrop's definition, are the one type of energy vampire, they're certainly not the most common ones you might come across. Think of any names that come to mind as you read the first part of this article. That's a good way to start identifying the energy vampires in your life. I don't have no energy vampires in my life, yo. I don't deal with people. I don't deal with people and they shit. Like, no. Like, hell no. I don't put up with people when they shit. When they start acting like this, I'm not dealing with this shit. But not everybody knows. Not everybody knows a narcissist. Not everybody knows what an energy vampire is. Not everybody knows. Not everybody knows. And that's why I'm looking this shit up, because I could talk about it. And I can say my own experiences, but then you're going to get the questions and people are going to be like, oh my God, and da-da-da-da. So, and then it's like, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find an article and I'm going to get the article. I'm going to read the article, and then it's going to show you what the hell an energy vampire is, because I could tell you what an energy vampire is to me. But and then I'm going to get all these questions and how do you know this and how do you... I read. I fucking read. I read an article and I look up information. If I want to find something, if I want to look up something, if I want to know something, I'm going to look it up. So I have been up. I have been so mad at a situation. And I've been looking up information on energy vampires because that's what I'm dealing with right now. And it just drives me insane when someone else doesn't see it for what it is, and you can tell them and you can guide them and you can... They don't want to listen. They don't want to hear what you gotta say. I'm like, yo, you can't be this dense. You cannot be this fucking dense. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just look this shit up and I'm gonna talk about it on my YouTube channel, because I can't believe like, you don't know what the fuck this is. Breathe. Not everyone with narcissistic traits or who enjoys being the life of the party is necessarily an energy vampire, she adds. There's some who recognize what they're doing if you call them out on it and stop. Energy vampires, those who could be diagnosed with a character disorder, however, are addicted to the kind of behavior and attention they get from it. So it's an actual psychological disorder to be this way. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I did not know that part. But generally, they're self-centered people and they're somewhat manipulative, Northrop says. That's the doctor. On some level, they know what they're doing and they do it because it works. So they keep doing it. They don't care about your feelings. They do not care. The non-energy vampires, thus the people that are not energy vampires, of the world, give them the benefit of the doubt that they really do need your love, compassion, and good chi. Northrop adds. People that are not energy vampires. Okay. Because they think like we do. And that's why energy vampires are dangerous, she says, because you think that they're like you and they're nothing like you. They're using you and you don't see it for what it is. Some energy vampires may have inherited those character traits from a parent and they are unaware of how their behavior affects others. But that is not your job to sit there and train a person and teach a person how to fucking act. Like, if you don't know how to act, like, no, you gotta go. I'm not dealing with this shit. But people are nice. Empaths are nice and they try to help and find the good in a person. And it's like, yo, I'm not doing this shit. But back to the article, this is where Olaf's definition of energy vampires differs. She says they're so dangerous because energy vampires may not know what they're doing other than the truly manipulative psychopaths and sociopaths. Some energy vampires may have inherited those character traits from a parent and they are unaware of how their behavior affects others, she says. Spending too much time with energy vampires can make you sick. What makes energy vampires so toxic is that they can be sources of chronic stress, says Northrop, especially if the energy vampire is someone you can't avoid, such as a spouse. That's if you live together. But if you're dating someone that's a fucking asshole like this, that's an energy vampire, like, you can leave them. You can leave them. You go in your house and they go in their house. Like, you don't have to deal with them. A parent or a boss, you can't avoid them. You have to deal with them. You have to see them every day. Constantly having your energy drained by that individual is a stressor, she says. You're constantly walking on eggshells around that person, waiting for the next shoe to drop. It was like that when I was working, and then I quit. I couldn't take it. Like, it was just too much shit. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And that type of chronic stress is well known to have pretty delirious. No, that's not delirious. Deleterious effects on multiple systems of the body, including the immune, cardiovascular, neuroendocrine, and central nervous systems. Like, these are big words. Like, this is like medical terminology. Like, I don't even know. I know cardiovascular is the heart, the neuroendocrine, that's your nervous system, right? Your neuroendocrine and central nervous systems. Okay. Wow. And stress. Like, who wants to be stressed? Like, I'm not trying to be stressed out. I'm not letting nobody stress me the fuck out. Like, oh no. I'm sorry, I'm cursing, but it's like, it's just frustrating. Like when you deal with it and then you're reading about it and it's like this. Ooh, but okay. Back to the article. Evidence shows that the people under chronic stress are at a higher risk of chronic problems, ranging from autoimmune disease to heart disease, obesity, and depression. There are health risks, Northrop says, about the energy vampires in our lives. What? They will be so out of here. Like, it's no way. I will not deal with this shit. But how to vanquish energy vampires, or at least not get sucked dry. Remember that when it comes to looking out for your own energy and well-being around energy vampires, you're not being selfish. You're practicing good self-care, Orloff says. Doing so keeps you from getting overwhelmed, anxious, and sick. Here's how. Cut them out of your life if you can. If they're not someone you can't avoid, such as a boss or a family member, cut off contact with that person. If it's an ex-spouse who you still need to communicate with, perhaps if you have children, Communicate as little as possible and use technology to your advantage, she adds. Text or use a messaging app rather than making plans over the phone. Like, don't talk to them. Don't deal with them. Ex, and you got no kids. Like, there is no reason we should be speaking. Like, we do not have to be friends. Like, nah. Cut them out of your life. Next is set boundaries. Know what type of activities work well and which ones don't, and plan accordingly. Maybe going out to lunch or coffee is bearable, but inviting that individual to your house is just too much. Set beginning and end times. Northrop says, like, okay, we're gonna be here from 8 to 10 or 8 to 9 because I gotta go, I got things to do. Like, put up your boundaries, set up limits. Lower expectations in them, because you can't expect the best of them. Like, you gotta expect the fucking least, because if you're dealing with a narcissist, know that these people are not capable of being empathetic towards you, or Olaf says. So don't expect that from them. Like, you can't expect someone to be compassionate and caring and love. You can't expect that from them, because that's not their nature. They're a narcissist. They will never be that way. They'll never be empathetic or caring. They'll never be that way. So don't expect that from them. That's why it says lower your expectations. Avoid bearing your soul to that person to protect yourself from feeling disappointed when they don't meet you with your understanding you're looking for. So it's like, for you not to be disappointed and hurt and upset, like, stop setting yourself up for that. Like, you keep telling them and talking to them and bearing your soul to them, and they don't care. They don't care. Oh my God. Another one. Be too tired for them. Be too tired, too busy, whatever. Northrop calls this strategy broken wing. When an energy vampire tries to bend your ear, tell them you feel under the weather or really tired. They'll go to another source immediately. Northrop says they do not want to be around somebody who doesn't have energy to give back. Okay. So be too tired for them. Be like, I'm tired. Be like, I can't talk. Like, I don't feel good. Make excuses not to deal with them. Gray rock them. Gray rock them. What does that mean? Act like a gray rock around them. Northrop says, don't entertain them. Don't give them energy. Don't give them the response, whether it be your open ear, your sympathy, or your support that they're looking for, and they'll lose interest. So that's what gray rock means. That's don't entertain them. Don't entertain them. Don't listen to them. Don't give them your energy. Know the difference between venting and dumping. Everybody needs a voice of frustration now and again. Energy vampires constantly dump their frustrations, irritations, and annoyances, bad days, and negative feelings on others. It's really important to know the difference between venting is accountable to the role of the problem and looking for a solution or resolution, and dumping, think unintelligible rants, like they're just talking and just putting all this information out there, and then you're there and you're listening and you're taking all that shit in. It's just like, oh my God. So you can set limits and not just sit there and take it. Like, you don't have to sit there and take it. Be like, yo, I'm not listening to this shit. Like, we're gonna talk about something else, because do not overreact. Remain cool, calm, and collected when dealing with an energy vampire. Northrop says, losing it can cause an energy vampire to do the same and make you feel worse about yourself. So do not overreact. Make sure you have a way to reality check. Determine which of your friends or family can be your reality check on the situation. Trusted individuals who can level set with you when the energy vampire in your life is acting up. Northrop says, yes, they're acting crazy. Yes, it looks like they're getting away with murder. Those trusted reality check friends can help affirm that what you feel in your gut is right and not the other way around, because they're always going to make it seem like they're right and you're wrong and you're crazy and you're this and you're not seeing things correctly. And yes, you are. But they're going to make it seem the opposite. So you do need someone that's going to have your back, or someone that's going to be there and that's going to stick with you. Say no nicely. Say no nicely. It's okay to not invite people to interact with you, and it's okay to say no to people, Orloff says. And remember, no is a sentence in itself, she adds. You can say it in a nice way that's not impolite or uncaring. She says you can be loving, compassionate person and still stick up for yourself. You don't need to be a doormat. Like, you don't have to sit there and take all this shit. And no. And no is a complete sentence. Like, oh, you want to go to the store? No. Like, oh, you want to go to the beach? No. Like, that's a complete sentence. You want to come to the bank with me? No. You want to go to Third Ave with me? No. Like, just say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Like, it's okay to say no. Like, nah, I don't want to go. Like, no. Be comfortable with saying no, because some people get scared to say no. They don't want to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad because they said no, so they'll agree with you even if they don't want to go and they don't want to do whatever it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is from CNN. How to spot and deal with an energy vampire. And I kind of like this article because it went in and it did give a lot more other points than the other articles. It was written on August 2nd, 2018. So this has been an ongoing issue. It has been a problem within society, within people. It was said here to be a mental condition. Like, it's a condition. Like, it's something wrong with these people that act like this. Energy vampires. Like, there's something mentally wrong with them. And these are doctors. So this article was written by doctors. Sarah Digiulio. But I'm going to put the link in the description box so you could check it out. You could tap on the link and you can read the article for yourself. But I pretty much read everything in the article in this video. But if you want to see it for yourself, just tap on the link. It's going to take you straight there. And thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me. Always leave with love. Bye.